homemade vegan gobs. And this recipe started from a very, very old recipe that was on a flour sack, and it was called snack cake. By accident, I found that this snack cake makes very good, delicious gobs. So I'm going to show you how to turn it into gobs. First things first, gather your dry ingredients together. This is brown sugar, and as you can see, I do not pack it. Just mix up your dry ingredients together. By taking that extra moment to mix the dry ingredients together, make sure that you incorporate the salt as well as that baking soda. Next, take your wet ingredients and simply pour it in. This happens to be water, oil, vinegar, which is different, and vanilla. I'm going to let it set for about 5 or 10 minutes. It will thicken up the batter just a tiny bit. Looks like I have all the ingredients mixed together. Now let it set. Spoon your batter onto a parchment paper lined cookie sheet, and this scoop that I'm using holds a tablespoon. You want to leave a little space between these cookies. Okay, it's time to pop them in the oven. At 8.5 to 9 minutes, check your cookies. Press them down just a little bit, and if they pop back, take them out of the oven. Let them cool on the hot cookie sheet. Do not put them on a wire rack, as we want these to stay soft. As a little tip, I want to mention that a stand mixer will be so much easier to make this frosting with. However, you could use a hand mixer as well. It's just that you will have to beat it longer. Okay, the cookies have cooled, so just loosen them a little bit from the parchment paper. Then I turn over half of them, and I'm using that same 1 tablespoon scoop that I used to put the batter onto the cookie trays. 1 recipe of the filling will fill 1 recipe of the gobs. And from this gob recipe, we're getting 18. So take the lid, push it down. The other thing that I'm doing is I am sprinkling them with powdered sugar. I'll turn those over so you can see how delicious and beautiful they are. Now my family likes to eat them frozen right from the freezer. So I wrap each of them individually in plastic wrap and stick them in the freezer. So when they want a snack, they just simply open up the freezer and get a cookie. Okay, it's time for the famous taste test. These are deliciously moist, just the right amount of sweetness, just the right amount of cocoa. Please come back and join us next week for another video. You never know what I'll have cooking up, but I'll always be singing the praises of the Lord.